problems in terms of injuries, because that's so important. If the squad is this short, it's always so difficult for all the players to play 3 days after 3 days. Of course, we don't feel sorry for ourselves, and we have to fight anyway. But the reality is, right now, it's just not good enough.
You had good moments in the match, though, and you talk about the injury problems as being a setback. What was not good enough? What do you need to do better?
Well, I would have to watch the game again. My feeling was that in terms of second balls, eventually they had some chances to run and to create a few problems. They had a lot of set pieces. But I would have to watch the game again. My feeling on the pitch was that, yeah, we had the ball, we controlled the game, we created a few chances, but we didn't control it as much as we wanted to. We didn't react to when we lose the ball as quickly as we normally do when we're playing well. So yeah, we need to get back to do properly the simple things, and if the players come back, that would help a lot. Yeah.
Is that the key to it, getting the players back? Because it looks like you're going to have to struggle on as long as possible without getting all the players they want back.
Well, as I said, of course we have to fight with what we have at the moment, but with a squad of 20 players, if you have 13 available, it's not good enough. For the schedules that we have right now, it's not good enough. And yeah, we have to make an effort as a team to recover the players as quick as possible.
Is it as simple as that? Just get the players back? There's 6 big players missing today.
Well, of course it's a big help, but they still, with the players that they've got, like every player that started today was a household name. Then they had, the likes of Jack Grealish on the bench, Doku on the bench, so they've still got 13, 14 regular players playing in the squad, and they should be playing better than they are. They're definitely playing worse than we've seen ever, really. Yes, injuries coming back will change things. I mean, if Rodri was back tomorrow, you wave a magic wand and he was back tomorrow, all of a sudden you really would fancy them to start playing like they normally do, wouldn't you? But he's not, and they've got to deal without it, and other teams have got to deal with injuries as well, and it's part of football and all the rest of it. So, yes, it's a problem, but I think they've got to look at themselves as well at the moment and try to find the key as to why they're not playing well. Injuries, yes, plays a part, but it's not the whole story.
And is it a sort of collective knock in belief and confidence, even for the very elite players that we've seen dominate this league?
Yes. It's when you're not in form and you're on a run like they're on, they're trying to play the way out. They're trying to do things the way they're continuing to do it. They need a little bit of luck. They need something to go their way. They need to build the confidence. At the minute, they're talking about injuries because they look tired. They do look. Usually they will, as Bernardo Silva spoke about there. They're so sharp in transition. They lose the ball, they swarm, they win it back quickly. They don't look like they're able to do that at the moment. I don't think they look as dynamic on counter-attacks or running forward. Everything's quite slow and lethargic. And it's true. I mean, Pep Guardiola is known for rotating his squad and changing it and bringing players in and out each individual game, which does starting to add up to a few performances. And when you need a little bit of help, when you're looking to turn to your right and looking for somebody who's sharp alongside you, it's not coming at the moment.
Having said that, the way they fell behind again in that second half is, what, page 1 defending, is it?
Absolutely. I mean, it's the most basic corner we've seen. We've seen some interesting corners this season with set-piece coaches and everything else. This is quite plain and simple. A ball plonked right into the middle of your 6-yard box. Ortega, I think, there's nobody in front of him, nobody blocking him, and the ball lands in the middle of your 6-yard box, about 3 or 4 yards off your line. There was a little bit of blocking. You spotted that pretty much straight away, Leon. So that helped free up the space for Lacroix, but I thought the keeper should have come and collected that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but it's homework from Crystal Palace. It's knowing how Manchester City will be lining up. They do a zonal marking system in that area. They're going to leave Kyle Walker, and they thought, we'll put Lacroix on there. We'll try and drop the ball there. They knew they didn't even have to put anybody in front of the goalkeeper because he's not a goalkeeper who will come for the ball. You just block Diaz out the way, and you've got a match-up 1v1 where the guy who's taller is going to win because there's no movement into it. There's no run-up. It's a simple goal once you've done your homework. The execution of it is brilliant.
They were able to come back to get level for a second time in the game. You like this finish from Rico Lewis, didn't you?
Lovely finish. almost gives him the eyes a little bit, then whips it into the top corner, near top corner. Obviously, his day was to get a little bit worse after this, but this was a great finish. Of course, Manchester City building up quite slowly, as Leon said, but then Kevin De Bruyne has passed there, just up the tempo a little bit. And Rico Lewis just opens his body out as if he was going to play the ball into the far corner with a little bit of curl, and then whips it into the near corner. Absolutely brilliant finish.
Yeah, if you play a one-touch pass into somebody that then can get turned like Bernardo Silva does, you're opening up so much space. It's a brilliant ball, and as you said, you're more able to talk about the finish than me, but if you can put that in the top corner from anywhere, it always looks terrific.
Yeah, he probably wishes he could play Crystal Palace every week. 3 Premier League goals for Rico Lewis, all of them against Palace, but he had a negative, as you rightly say. 2 yellow cards, Leon, in 14 minutes.
Yeah, I feel he's slightly unlucky. I mean, we don't know what he actually says to the referee, so, depending on what he said is one of the reasons to get booked. I didn't think he sprinted towards him. I didn't think he really got in his face. He clearly disagrees with the decision, but the referee deemed it a booking. When you look at this the very first time, it looks like a yellow card, but when you see it back, it's actually Rico Lewis stretches for it, puts his foot across on the ground, and it's actually Chalobah that kind of makes contact with him. Michael, I don't know what you think.
Yeah,
I think he's unfortunate, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't blame the referee in any way, shape or form, because when I saw it, I thought, oh, that's a second yellow. And I can understand totally why he gave him the second yellow. The first yellow, he's got to go home and he's going to have a look at himself, because that's contributed. That's just...
It's foul and abusive language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are you doing? That, and it's only when it turns into a red later in the game that you think to yourself, was it worth having a go at the ref at that point? If you end the game and you get a yellow for, you don't tend to learn. But when you get a red card and now you're missing the next game because you shouted your mouth off, you probably then need to start learning, because it's then cost you, and it's probably cost your team as well.
And that next game is none less than the Manchester Derby in 8 days' time that Rico Lewis will be suspended for. We saw Pep Guardiola's frustration potentially about that at the full-time whistle, but also because I think he felt too early City were actually with a potential counter-attack here as the whistle goes.
Yeah, we saw this, at Newcastle in the week when they potentially had a break right at the whistle. The referee has probably said he's going to himself with the time on the clock, he's going to blow the whistle once the corner's happened. He's well within his rights to do that. The timing is up when the timing is up. But Manchester City felt that was a great opportunity. It really was. One of the few chances they had on the counter-attack. And that's just a little bit of frustration that came from the performance, the run, the fact that they didn't win. Rico Lewis is sending off, and that could have actually put it all behind them if they potentially could have broken away and scored.
Yeah, I thought the whistle went as they sort of challenged, and then the ball dropped, and OK, City were sort of on the attack, but I wouldn't blame the referee in any way, shape or form there. OK, so that was a frustrated Pep Guardiola. Here are the thoughts of the Manchester City boss.
Pep, how would you assess the performance overall today?
Really good. I'm so proud of the team.
What areas did you like about it?
I like everything on my team. How we fought in the situation that we are.
What situation would you describe that as?
Have a lot of problems with the squad. Mainly is that.
So in that sense, overall, you happy with the result?
We fought incredible. We came back twice. It's not difficult place to come, and we struggled in the beginning, but we gave everything and we take the point.
When you say you struggled at the beginning, was that trying to get a control of the game? Was it trying to get on the ball? What areas?
No, long balls, second balls, they are stronger than us. They try to link the position from Rico, and we struggle a little bit, but of course the transition they have, they are fast, but in general it was good.
Yeah, you must be pleased with the way you were able to get an element of control, and particularly around that first goal you scored and the way you finished the first half.
Yeah, we started the second half a little bit sloppy control, but we didn't purpose to attack, to score. And after 2-1, we react well and we scored the second, and unfortunately we could not play with 11 at the end of the game.
And when you talk about sloppiness, was that maybe the set-piece goal that Palace scored an element of that? Was that quite avoidable?
Yeah, but we could take her, and they are stronger than us, and we didn't attack the ball properly, but sometimes happen.
It looked like you were in a really good position to maybe go on and get that third goal, and then there was the second yellow card for Rico Lewis. What was your view of that?
Have you seen it?
Only in the real time.
Oh, me too. I cannot tell you.
It's obviously a tough time with the injuries, and you've got some huge games coming up as well. Is it a case of just having to knuckle down and fight on as you are? Are there solutions ahead?
Yeah, now we lost another player defensively for the next game for the first, second yellow card, but this is what it is. So move forward.
Are you pleased with the character of the players that are on the pitch are showing?
Since 8 years ago, every single day.
Thanks for your time, Pep.
You're welcome.
Are we at a stage where do you think he needs a lift now? Because he's the leader of the pack.
Yeah, who manages the manager, or who lifts the manager, who lifts the man in charge. So yeah, he probably. He looks drained, doesn't he?
He's never ever been in a run like this.
It's quite painful actually watching the interview. I don't like watching his interviews at the moment. Sometimes when you hear certain managers, I really look forward to the insight they're given and their opinion on the game and what was right, what was wrong. But at the moment, it's just, I'm almost thinking, do we have to listen to him? It's a hard listen.
Yeah, I mean, because in some ways, if you're in the dressing room, you're pleased that your manager's coming out and protecting you and saying, I love them, they're doing everything right, and you're pleased for that. But he looks as drained as the squad are telling us that they are, and somebody's got to lift somebody to put that burst of energy back within the team. Maybe it's, two players coming back at the same time, getting fit, that'll lift Pep, that'll lift the team. But at the moment, they're kind of bouncing off each other. Bernardo saying, we're a bit tired and we're needing players back. Pep himself saying very similar things. And, as Michael said, somebody's got to lift somebody in that moment and to get them out of this slump.
And it's the situation here. It happens with other clubs. Listen, we've been here before and we can do this and this. As I say, they haven't needed to be here before. This is totally new territory for everyone in that City dressing room.
Absolutely, new territory. The one thing that nobody on this planet can deny or can question is whether they've got the ability, to bounce back and at some point. Of course they have. They're not a one-season wonder. They're not a one-week wonder. They've been doing it for years and years and years. I mean, the most successful team that we've ever seen. Is it 6 in 7 years they've won? I mean, it's incredible. So there's no doubt that the talent's there and the manager's there and everything works at the football club because it's been so successful. But, as you say, they've never been in this situation before, and trying to get out of the rut is not easy. And he's finding that out and obviously looking for a spark. And as Leon says, that might be a big player coming back. It might be something happening, winning a big game or something. But somebody somewhere has got to be the leader there because, as we've just watched, they're tired interviews. They're, somebody, as I say, has just got to, and it'll probably be Pep or one of the coaches. And on Monday morning, they'll come in and say, right, come on, here we go, and just invigorate the squad a little bit. But at the moment, it looks like a tired, drained dressing room.